folks, welcome to another edition of Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. And on today's show, I have Leisa Morace, and she is with a new show called Listen to the Music over at the Dutton's Theater. So we're going to learn about her and her background and her family's background and how they got in the show business. And so we look forward to talking to her. Folks, fall is about over, and we have had a great fall here in Branson. People are coming to Branson. People, I have determined, love freedom. And Branson is a place that is free. And so we've had a great fall. People have been coming out. But guess what? Christmas is just around the corner. And if you are like, where should I go for my Christmas break, Christmas season? Branson is the place to come. There's more live Christmas shows here than anywhere else in the country. We have Christmas light drive-thrus. We have Silver Dollar City with 6.5 million Christmas lights. We have great shopping. Like, I can't think of a better place in the entire world to come for a Christmas trip. So, if you haven't started planning that Christmas vacation, you need to come. Now, if you're in Branson, you may want to check out our magazine, Play Branson. It's on racks all over town. This is a complete guide about shows, attractions, and more. You can pick this up all over town. It is free, so be sure to grab our magazine out on newsstands now. We'll be back in just a minute with more Play Branson.
The Christmas season is a perfect time for family traditions, and Branson's Lights of Joy, Branson's all-LED Christmas display drive-thru, is a great way to create those lasting Christmas memories. Whether you're young or young at heart, this is the perfect COVID-friendly Christmas experience. We've got the perfect cure for cabin fever. It's time to get out and catch the Christmas spirit. Enjoy the lights from the comfort of your own car. Discover over 250 different Christmas displays and an amazing drive-through tunnel with state-of-the-art lighting. Branson's Lights of Joy is located just north of Sight and Sound Theater on Expressway Lane. Open nightly through January 2nd. Santa loves these lights and will be there on select nights. Visit lightsofjoydrivethru.com for more info and to book online.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. And today, for the first time ever on the show, I have Leisa Morace. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Yes, I got it right. Awesome. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And so you have a new show in town.
Yes, we do.
And so we're going to talk about that. Because I always say anytime someone's doing a new show, it's really fun and challenging and hard. It's a whole bunch of different things. But we need to talk about how you got to that point. And so take us back in your history, from a musical entertainment standpoint, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, music has been, we've been involved in music for most of our lives. My husband started playing the piano when he was about 3 years old, and the church that he was attending, they would give them the opportunity to, like before their Sunday night service, for the kids to come up and sing a song or play a song on an instrument. And that's how he got started. And he would do that, for years and years as he grew and his talent grew. And myself, I was in a small church in a small town in Louisiana where we're originally from. And my pastor would want me to often sing solos. And I loved music and I loved singing, and I didn't want to stand up in front of the congregation. I wanted to sit in a chair. I was too nervous to stand. So he would get me a chair, and I would sit and sing, in front of them, and I loved it. That's how I got started. And when Robert and I, of course, we married, and later in the years, and then our daughters, when were born, we saw that they were going to be singers, and they just fit right into what God had planned for our family group. And we've traveled and sung for years, singing gospel music at churches and festivals, and that eventually led us here
to Branson.
Yes.
So
yes.
let's go back, because When you first got married, were you and your husband like saying, "Hey, we're going to have a musical career," or were you doing other jobs at that point in time, or what?
Well, throughout the years, of course, music was our love and our passion, but you have to have regular jobs and all that, and of course we both did that. But the way that we actually met was he was in a group and they needed a female singer in the group, and so they asked me to come on board, and that's how we actually got together and started dating from that point. And it was really after we had our first child and saw that she could sing and was talented, that we really started thinking about the family group. And then when we had our second daughter, 5 years later, 5 years between them, she started about 2 years old also singing, and we been singing in church and stuff for years. And so it was like God just kind of formed that, and they just kind of came in and fit into that plan. And we started traveling probably when our youngest was about 7 or 8 years old. We really started traveling heavily, pretty heavily. Still working and still having jobs,
but you were doing music because you were very passionate about it. And so when you were traveling, were you primarily focused on churches, or were these gospel festivals, or what kind of genre?
We did both. We did both, yeah. Mostly churches, but we had some festivals also that we were asked to be a part of, and we would travel at night. We had a gigantic van at the time, and that even had made a bed that made out in the back. And our kids would bring their pillows and their blankets and their jammies, and we would travel, and then they would sleep on the way home, and we'd get up and do our normal, regular lives the next morning. And
so
then
you were kind of working hard.
Yeah,
right? But you were doing what you enjoyed to do.
And we in between all of that, we were trying to do some CD projects. Or back when we first started, this is dating us, but it was cassettes when we first got cassettes. And then we progressed to CDs, but we did make a few trips to Nashville to record at some of the studios there through TBN, Trinity Podcast. And we were really excited about that, going to Nashville and all the Nashville musicians playing for you, meeting all these people. So we've been pretty busy at it.
Yeah. And so when you were doing some of those recordings, was that your original music, or?
Some of them, yes. After we had recorded several in Nashville, and then when we moved to Branson, which we've been here a little over 16 years now, but when we first moved to Branson, we went to a local studio and recorded a project, and most of those were original. Yeah, throughout the years, we had a few original, but most of those were.
So what made you come to Branson, or how did you get to Branson? Why Branson?
Well, actually, when we first got married, a year after we were married, we came to Branson because my husband had come with church groups and stuff, so he knew about Branson. I really didn't, and so he wanted me to see it. So we came here after we'd gotten married, and it was wonderful, and then we loved it, and then we didn't come back until about 3 years later when a church group we came with again. And then it was about 10 years in between that. And a friend of ours had moved from Louisiana to Branson to sing in one of the shows. And she said, you just have to come, you and your family, up here to some of these venues, and sing and perform. And so through her, we were able to come. We started out coming and doing the Sunday praise gathering at the Jim Stafford Theater. Okay. And we were so excited. We were from a small town coming to Branson to sing in a theater. So, but it was a wonderful experience, and everybody treated us so well. And we had an open invitation to come every time we came to Branson to come there and sing, know, and so we would do it too, because when we got here, we were smitten. I mean, we really fell in love with Branson. Yeah. And so we would come every year, once or twice a year, and sing at some of the...
But then you said, we're moving.
We
Right?
when we fell in love with it, we started thinking about, trying to figure out how we could. There was no logical reason for us to. We had family there. My husband had a business there, but we just couldn't get it out of our heads. Every time we would come to visit Branson, we would be home a week or two, and then we would be planning our next trip, And so
I love it.
it took us a little while, it took us about 9 years from the first time we came to perform until we actually moved in 2005. But it was like God was closing doors in Louisiana and opening doors here and pushing us out of the nest, and here we are, and we've loved it.
So, since you've been in Branson, you've still been traveling as a family and performing in churches, right? And then, besides your show, have you done anything else in Branson prior to your new show?
Yes, my husband actually plays keyboard in another show. It's the Oh Happy Day show at the Hughes Brothers Theater. This is his 5th season there. And my 2 daughters both have been able to perform with Daniel O'Donnell when he's been here during the Christmas season. And my youngest daughter was Sammy Lane for about 3 seasons at Shepherd of the Hills. And so they've been pretty busy. My oldest daughter, Summer, is also, she was in the Shrek the musical. She was the Sugar Plum Fairy and did a lot of dancing and stuff. So they've been busy.
So lots of different things going on, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the show, Listen to the Music. That's the name of it.
Yes.
Okay, and so folks, hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about this new show, Listen to the Music. Stay tuned.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show, and we are talking with Leisa I'm just not gonna say the last name because I'll get it wrong. So you say it for us.
Morace.
Yeah, I would have gotten it wrong because then I've been working hard on it, but it's like I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, right? So okay, Listen to the Music. This is a new show that just opened in September of this year over at the Dutton Theater, and so. I always say you're crazy for opening a new show in Branson, like literally during COVID, but people have been doing it. Yeah. And you guys are doing it. And so tell us about the show, because I'm guessing not very many people know about it yet. And so we want to get the word out and tell people about your show.
Well, yes, it is brand new. We are having a blast. We did open September 11th, and it is a show that is a big variety. We have country, gospel, pop. We do some 70s stuff, or just a big variety. It really is. And then our second half, we do gospel and patriotic. We have a really good patriotic part, that's pretty heartwarming. And we are really having a good time.
Yeah.
We're only running a couple of, one day a week right now. Mm-hmm. That works better for everybody because our family and our cast are super busy with other jobs, and some of the people in our cast they work in multiple shows, and so one day a week works best right now. Right. We started out Saturdays at 10, and for September and October, and then we're moving to Mondays at 2. For November and December with our Christmas shows. And then for 22, we're going to have the same schedule.
Okay, so you're planning to, at this point, you're saying, hey, we're going to keep doing this in 2022. Yes. And so, when you're sitting around the dinner table, are you saying, hey, we need to put a show together? Like, how does it happen?
I guess because we have traveled for years and performed for years, I guess that we kind of felt like this was maybe the next step that God was leading us in, the next direction. And I've worked for the Duttons for years. When we first moved here, all of our family worked for the Duttons, doing one thing or the other at the theater, except for my husband. And we have known them for years, and we had really felt strongly about doing a show. And we talked to the Duttons and talked to Sheila and Dean, and they had said yes, and we were really excited about that, very excited, and we appreciate the opportunity. And we're just having a blast. It's our family, and like I said, we have other cast members, of course, a comedian and full band, and our grandson is in it, and he's 9 years old, and he's amazing. He really is. He just fit into the family perfectly with his voice and his talent.
I always say Branson is a place where there's a lot of family entertainment, and there's lots of course, we have the world's largest family with the Hughes. Love you, Hughes. And even the Duttons, like big families. Yes. And so Branson is a family entertainment town. And so I think, you fit that model because you're a family and you have, what is it, 5? Is it 5 family members in the show?
Yeah, yes. I'm trying to think now. Yes. Yeah. 5 family members, yes. And then we have, like I said, an additional cast and band, yes.
So I heard that you have a young drummer in the show. So let's talk about your drummer.
She's 18 years old. She does play drums in our church also, and our worship team, which we perform in, and also. Her name is Iriel McConnell, and she is amazing. She does much more than just play drums.
Right.
She plays other instruments. She has one of the most amazing voices you've ever heard, and she does perform in our show. She sings with us, but she also has solo work in the show too, and it's amazing. And her dad was Randy McConnell, and he was a very well-known person around town, well-known musician, and he played bass in our church, and he was going to be in our show too, and passed away.
Yeah, that was a very sad time.
And she's wonderful.
So a lot of times when people think of drummers, they do not think of women drummers, and because most of the time, when you're honest, when you're at a show, it's a male drummer. Now, here's what I can tell you: the biggest Christian rock band in history, Skillet, has a female drummer, Jen Ledger, and she's awesome. And she sings too, actually. So anyway, when I heard that you had a female drummer, a young female drummer, I'm like, that's different. I think that's cool.
Yes,
I have not seen her, but I've heard some good stuff about her.
She's wonderful
Already. Now, I also have heard that in your show, and you mentioned it, you have a comedian.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about him.
Okay, well, his name is Christian Ross, and he is a very funny guy, and he does do other comedian work, around town, and he has the most amazing voice. You just have to come to the show and hear it. He does do some solo work in the show also. We kind of have him as a little surprise because he's the MC, the comedian, and then we introduce him and let him sing, and he just blows them away.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. So you got lots of variety, lots of different styles of music.
Yes.
And then as far as like your family are playing instruments and doing all that kind of stuff
as
well?
Yes, my husband, in addition to keyboard that he learned when he was growing up, he picked up a lot of other instruments too. And he does the acoustic guitar in the show also. And our grandson and he do a number together with my grandson on the keyboard and him on the acoustic guitar also. So, yeah. And
then do your daughters play any instruments, or do they primarily singers?
Not in the show. They've played some. It was more of the singing and the acting thing that they kind of specialized in, but they have played a little throughout. And I must say, our bass player, Eric Green, he plays multiple instruments, and he does the violin also in our show too. Okay. So yeah, we've just got a lot of talented people in it.
Well, that's awesome. And so, folks, if you want to see this show, it's at the Duttons, and they are located at 3454 West 76 Country Boulevard. And the shows are going to go through, really pretty much through the end of the year.
Yes.
And they are 2 p.m.s on Monday.
Yeah.
So you can't see it Tuesday, you can't see it Sunday. You can only see it on Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Starting in November.
Starting in November. And that'll be right around the corner because we're at the end of October. So anything I missed today, or anything you want to tell people that we've missed?
Well, I just would like to say that we would love for you all to come out to see us. Our desire is that people will come and feel something really special all the way around. Faith, family, the whole idea of something very special and leaving with something special, and that's what we have in mind. And you'll be, thoroughly entertained. We'd love to have you.
There we go, folks. That's a wrap. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap the show right up. Folks, we'd love to thank Leisa for coming to the show today, and be sure to go check out their show at the Duttons Theater. That's on Mondays at 2 o'clock starting in November and going through December. So you'll want to check that out there over at the Dutton Theater at 3454 West 76 Country Boulevard. You can also buy their tickets at ibranson.com. And if you need help planning your entire Branson vacation, those folks at ibranson.com can help plan your entire trips, hotels, shows, lodging. They even have great deals on dining vouchers there. And you can purchase it all online, or you can call them at 877-ENTERTAIN. Next week's show, I have, for the first time ever, the newest member to join Six. That's Charles Knutson. Can't wait to talk to him on the show. As we stated earlier, Ozark Mountain Christmas is right around the corner. We have a lot of special limited engagements coming into town. So just to give you some of them, Jimmy Fortune's going to be here November 5th and 11th. Neil McCoy, the 3rd, 4th, 17th, and 18th of November. Gene Watson, November 8th. The Gatlin Brothers, welcome back to the Gatlin Brothers, November 20th. Daniel O'Donnell's doing his limited engagement run November 3rd through the 18th. And Tony Orlando will be in town on November 6th. That's 2021. And so there's more shows even coming up after that, but that's a few coming up in the next couple weeks here in town. Limited engagements, plus we have all our regular shows. A lot of them do full Christmas shows. Sometimes they'll do a half of a Christmas show as well. So Christmas is right around the corner. We hope to see you back in Branson for Ozark Mountain Christmas. And we'll see you next week here on Play Branson.